let me just like walk in and see what this thing is about, right? See what the whole big deal is. 'Cause I felt like, you kind of have like maybe a little overconfidence, right? Like I think I got a good handle on certain things. So like maybe I don't blow it out the park, but I won't do that bad. But I did so poor. Like when I got that failed diagnosis exam, it was like an eye opener. Like, whoa, you know, knowing that you really need this exam, really, or the success of it, and how far I was away from my realistic, expectations of myself. I definitely took a step back. How it seemed?
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
So congratulations on passing your FE electrical. First time with me, and it was your second or third attempt, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Third attempt.
Right.
Yeah, third
So
attempt.
Zubair, obviously, like if you're in a multiple attempt scenario, it takes a lot of, character to not give up and keep on believing that you can pull it off. And then obviously strategizing, executing the plans and doing something differently. So how about you walk me through when you graduated, when you decided to um, get on with your FE electrical exam preparation journey, the challenges you encountered, the resources that you used previously in the field attempts, and yeah.
Yeah. So I graduated back in 2015. Right into working for a power utility. Um, and everything was like, of course, you got to be pretty aggressive at trying to, because I didn't come right out of school taking the exam. I was a non-traditional student. Kind of already had a family. Already dealing with life. So being like a new engineer in the field and whatnot, right out of school, I did not go right and take the exam, but you get around and realize that you have to kind of get that exam under your belt to kind of get ahead. And so I've tried at it from time to time, and definitely I think my first time at it, I kind of went in, hearing some folks talk about it, say, hey, it's not that bad, this to that. And I was like, you know what? Let me just like walk in and see what this thing is about, right? See what the whole big deal is. 'Cause I felt like, you kind of have like maybe a little overconfidence, right? Like I think I got a good handle on certain things. So like maybe I don't blow it out the park, but I won't do that bad. But I did so poor. Like when I got that failed diagnosis exam, it was like an eye opener, like, whoa, you know, knowing that you really need this exam, really, or the success of it, and how far I was away from my realistic, expectations of myself. I definitely took a step back and said, okay, I gotta get into some program. I gotta get back, and
So when was your first attempt, Zubair?
it was, oh shoot, I want to say about a year, probably about 2016, in the
Okay,
2016
so you
year.
graduated in 2015. You took a stab at it um, without any preparation in 2016. It brought you back to reality
Yeah,
and humbled you, right?
definitely, yeah, yeah. So
Okay, so then you enrolled in some programs.
I wrote in some programs. I went one of the big ones out there, and you know, it went rather quickly. It was like maybe just, I don't know, 2 weeks, something like that, 2 or 3 weeks, and kind of went through the materials, but it was more so the strategy, right? Of how to get through it, not really looking at touching on everything. And there was a lot of that, like, we're going to get through this. So we kind of, they may or may not have this, but these are the major things they're going to touch on based on what the school thought was relative. And I said, okay. And went back at it. Um, and again, it didn't do as bad as I did the first time, but I didn't do well enough with the diagnostic feedback where I thought that I was really getting there, So it was a little, wasn't soul crushing, but it was, the prospect was getting a little dimmer.
Right. So you were mentioning, and again, I won't mention the name of the programs, but you use the three big programs out there, and each costed you upwards of $1,000,
Oh
give or take,
yeah,
roughly, right? So you ended up spending,
yeah, all of them, nothing less than
yeah.
nothing less than like a few thousand. I
So
think
at this
one
stage,
closer than that. Yeah.
so at this stage, you have failed the exam twice, and you have spent over $3,000, and you're still not close to passing the exam.
No, no, I can honestly say I wasn't. That's the truth. You
So
know,
what did you do differently then?
I'm gonna tell
First of
you,
all, how did you pick yourself up? Because again, I mean, I think a lot of people can learn from it because after having spent that much money, time, energy, and everything, a lot of people will give up.
I'm gonna tell you. Well, it was like because as you get along in your career, and you're starting to see more folks it becomes like, okay, they're the folks who are like, yeah, you have this engineering role. A lot of folks are kind of baked into their roles, right? And and you can have a great career, depending on where you're at, and what you're doing. There's a lot of different stuff you can do, obviously, but there is definitely always going to be like folks who are past that point, and then the folks who are, it's a well-known thing amongst your colleagues, amongst folks, who you're doing business with alongside, where
Yep.
you don't have that point pass. It's just it's like a thing that's either in you or it's kind of a perceived notion about you, right? But
Yeah.
what I did was I said, I even told my wife, like, after talking with her about going back at it, because each time I went at it, it may seem like I dove into it a lot, but it takes time. Like you have to really cut it out. And I think I haven't really done that before. So I said, listen, I think I'm gonna really go at it and cut out some time. And I even said it like, whatever I'm gonna do, however I'm gonna figure it out, this may be the last time I really go at it. And
Yeah,
I
just to
remember
interject, you have no idea how many students have told me that Wasim, if I had failed with you, I
oh
would have
yeah,
given up.
yeah,
I have
yeah,
so many students have said like in the fifth attempt, in the sixth, I've even had students sixth attempt. They found out about me after attempting five times. That surprises me sometimes. But anyways, they're like,
right.
Wasim, if I failed, I would have given up.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it takes a lot because with family, everything like that is it takes the wind out of you. And then, especially when you got kids, everybody's kind of rooting for you, you're like,
Yeah,
I'm tired of building everybody up, and letting the team down and whatnot,
yeah.
even though it's like it's more, I'm gonna say internally.
Personal. It's more of a personal, yeah.
But I will say that, like, going into those forums and kind of reading into, like getting on the ground and seeing how folks are, and you try to draw some motivation from somebody who's in your same, I mean, outside just kind of watching, a lot of prep videos and folks around YouTube and that community, but going into like the Reddit communities or just certain forums, you do kind of latch on and say, hey, I've been through this, so I've had this background and whatever. And you start there and you say, okay, well, I look for the ones that, what do people do differently? Like, what was the tipping point for anyone? And then that's when I came across, your information. I saw that.
Mhm.
And when I saw just on some general things, I kind of fell into a community of folks who kind of signed off on your program being unique, in terms of not just the study guide, but then I think at that point you had also had the like an actual training, right? Like I don't know, it was I didn't
Mind
know what it
training. Yeah.
was. I just started off with like somebody pulled out the study guide. And I just went ahead and bought it, and the study guide, just kind of reading into it, just the general information from the onset, it got like right into it, like not a bunch of fluff. I kind of went through the guide and saw that you got into like the problem sets, right? And then I said, I like that. I was like, okay, I'm feeling that. But then, coming across your website, I saw that you offered like a real comprehensive approach and inspirational videos, and you got a lot of time you can spend watching success videos. Is really all of that. It really kind of you say, okay, I gotta really, get into this, new way of approaching this, And so from there, I really just took on the challenge, with your comprehensive approach. I'm gonna say, it was really comprehensive.
So you started with the on-demand program, then you enrolled in the live training program, and credit to you because I know that you were one of the few students who had maintained the attendance upwards of 90%. You might even have attended 100% of the 24 sessions that we had between September to November. And you were always asking high quality questions. So obviously it's a lot of time and effort. On average, I wouldn't be surprised if you're putting in more than 20, 25 hours a week, right? For like 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I will say that I felt that the live training was the icing on the cake, right? Because the on demand to me is like, I fall back into my own the biggest challenge, which is myself, right? I'm going through it, right? But even like going through with your general, study calendar information is nice. But to be honest, I think having it done that way where the live training kind of pushes you through the content
Yeah.
is really the way you should go about it, because you really have to get through the material and then put it in context with the live training, and then go back to the material and revisit it and go through it in that approach with the study guide. All of that, it really kind of hardens
Yeah.
you in
Yeah.
the
So I
process.
use I call it the 3 pillars, right? For some students, the study guide by itself does the trick. For other students, they combine it with the on-demand program. And for other students, it's a live training plus on-demand plus study guide that gets the job done. So again, credit to you that you believed that you could pull it off. You gave it another shot, used different sets of resources, actively participated in the live training, completed the on-demand course, completed all the problems in the study guide, and then basically went for the exam and got it done before the end of the year and ended the year on a high note. And despite that, you were saying that the exam was still not a walk in the park, right? You were still pushed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and what I told you in response was that, you felt pushed and cornered by the exam despite putting in that much time and effort. So imagine if somebody's trying to wing it or somebody is complacent about it, then what they would be going through.
They put that exam together like, they figured that part out. Like you're not gonna disrespect the exam in that way, I can tell that, by the way they craft those questions, I was quite taken
Exactly.
aback. It threw you off. So I'm glad a lot of times you had mentioned throughout the course, like, hey, it's not just the mechanical part of it, forget the plug and chug, and the mechanics are great. You really need those, but really understanding it matters. Like you're gonna need that. That's a really serious component of your study methodology. Gotta understand what they're asking you, because you know,
Yeah.
I mean,
And
you can
in
luck
my
out. You can luck out. I'm
yeah.
sure you can luck out. I can't do anything based on luck. And I'm
No,
never the
luck won't
guy.
luck
Yeah.
will probably just help you push past that, margin, but you got to come close to that margin, right? And that you cannot do by pure luck. So you have to put in the time and effort like you did, self-belief, using the right resources, and tons of hard work. So once again, many congratulations to you, Zubair, and I look forward to seeing you in my P Power program. Just to finish off,
Absolutely.
in the P Power
Absolutely.
program, if you found that the FE was in depth and comprehensive, wait until you get to the P Power, because
Oh
I will
yeah.
be
Yeah.
deriving every single thing and I go into the nuts and bolts. I take, put an even extra effort in P Power program because I know that the guys and girls who are taking the P Power program, hopefully they get in license very soon. And then after that, you get a lot of liability. So it's that one final opportunity for you to brush up on all the fundamentals of power systems engineering, uh, so that you feel more competent, more comfortable, confident. Once you get that stamp, you can put that stamp on things that will get built, will be used by the public, safety and everything comes into play. So it's a great opportunity for you to sort of take a learning attitude and get into the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to it, really.
All
I
right.
enjoy your stuff, man. I really do. I talk about it. It's the only thing I could talk about after studying like so much. It's like you talking about what seems material again. I'm like, it's all I know at the moment.
Awesome. Okay. Thanks a lot, Zubair.
No problem, man. Good
Thank
luck, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
thank you.